What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and another episode of our F126 My Team career mode here today for what I believe is the Spanish Grand Prix around Barcelona. We do have a department event to start off, but we are going to look at a few things first, as I think we've had more failed upgrades. It's not been a good few weeks for us. We have got the two air upgrades in, which I think were the ones that failed originally. Therefore, of course, they were guaranteed to come in for this race, so we'll stick a few more in development. Plenty of time left on the chassis upgrades. They are the two that failed. The engine upgrades have both failed, and there's not much time between races, so we're not going to get any of these in either. So we're going to have to wait till Austria for these two recovered engine upgrades, which is a shame, but we have got a durability one on the car. And we've only got one left to develop, I think, in our research, which, yeah, is a bit of a shame. But let's see where we're at then in terms of the research. We'll have a little look. So, chassis-wise, there is no available slots. What are we currently researching? That's probably worth looking. So we've only got chassis parts that we can research, and I believe... Or we have unlocked an upgrade. So there should be one chassis upgrade in here we can research. Maybe there isn't. Yeah, we can't have them. We must have hit our ceiling in regards to that. 6 days left on that. 15 days, 3 days. We will have another personnel facility improvement to make. What I do want to look at is the component management, because obviously Behrman took an engine penalty in the last race. Oh my god, it was a gearbox. What the hell has happened here? Gearbox 25? What? How the hell has he got 25 gearboxes? What's that all about? His gearbox was at 79%, so he took a fresh one, got a grid penalty, and now has 25 gearboxes. What the hell? I mean, I don't know if that's a glitch, but he's never going to run out of gearboxes. That's a thing, at least. We do have to, I think, manage Behrman a little bit better with his engine parts, because my god, he really goes through them quickly. Anything that's like near the 60s, we're going to have to... I mean, his ICE, his second one, is already really badly worn. I think we're going to have to leave that one in the car. Whereas, I mean, Jack, look at Jack. He treats his car beautifully. Look at this. It's beautiful. I think we can probably hang on for one more race with these engine components with Jack. Yeah, we do have a couple of events to attend. I don't think there's any time for any upgrades other than a quick personnel one. And let's see what we've got then. So I think we'll have another message about title sponsor growing, points on the board, all that good stuff. And we may as well assign the upgrades. We do have two air upgrades, so we'll go one each, one for Jack Crawford, one for Ollie Behrman, and that keeps us in 5th, but we are very close to Ferrari now, as the 5th best car, or the 4th best car almost, pulling slightly clear of the Racing Bulls and the rest, of course. And don't know if we'll be able to quite see that from this graph, not quite, but I mean, look how tight it is. The top three are just unbelievably close. You can barely separate them now. Ferrari have pulled clear, although we are right there with them, I think. Then you've got the Racing Bulls and Alpine. Haas have pulled slightly clear in a world of their own. Audi and Williams are languishing in their own little fight, and then Cadillac and Aston are as well. So they've sort of split off into pairs, haven't they? We're currently alongside the Ferraris, and then there are 3 clear teams at the top of the charts. But let's see what this is about then. So, recent staff event, a member of our durability team made an off-the-cuff comment that has ruffled some feathers within the aero team. Competitive spirit aside, we are a team and we don't want to stoke divisions. How do you want to handle this? I mean... Yeah, it's the durability department. I'm not bothered about damaging the morale of that department because we've got no upgrades. And we do have advanced talks with Ollie Behrman to attend. So let's see what Ollie's current terms are looking like. And the engineering workforce needs work. Fan rating of 4, got it. Vehicle performance 3rd. Going to be tough, but we're not far away from being 4th. 76% chance of him signing that. Positive. That's positive, I would say. We do want to keep Ollie Behrman, most definitely. But I think we are in a position where we want to, I think, look at upgrading Jack Crawford. I think we are at a point where we have to. We have to look at the next step. And well, we know the two that we want, don't we? Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. One of the two. Hopefully, we shall see. Anyway, only a few days until the next race.
Hey, Chief.
We do have a rear wing upgrade, I think, in.
Don't forget
That's
to
good.
develop them. We've got
There we
performance
go.
sitting on the table that we could be getting into
We've
the car.
got another upgrade. Straight mode. Let's give that to Ollie. And it doesn't quite get us above Ferrari, but I tell you what, it won't be far away. So, is that two? No, 1. It said 2, but I'm sure it was only 1. So we'll get another one going. That won't come until after Silverstone. So yeah, very good progress, and we are here for the race weekend. So, without any further ado, let's jump straight in to the race weekend. Let me quickly just deal with whatever this does. And yeah, talks with Ollie went well, which is great. Let's head to the race weekend then, around Spain. So we're getting ready to go for qualifying. One thing worth looking at though before we jump onto the in-track action, we have been given a closer look at the competitive chart, and just look how evenly spread it is. I mean, the top 3 are out of the picture, but you can see how close we are now to Ferrari. Not quite above them, but we're very, very close. And then we've got who I believe are the, I don't know if it is the Racing Bulls, who are just in between us and Alpine, who've plateaued for a little bit now, and then Haas are in the sort of world of their own before you then hit the Audi and the Williams, which is now the 3rd worst car, which is quite unbelievable, before you see Audi just back ahead of Aston Martin. So yeah, apart from the top 3, we're sort of all evenly spread out, although the gap is incredibly small at the same time. But of course, that means little. When the margins are so small, driver ratings, driver experience makes a difference, as does certain car strengths around certain circuits. So let's get stuck into qualifying. So then here we go for our first lap in qualifying. Going to dab a little bit of boost down the straight here. I think we should, get enough back as we go around the lap here, as we fly through sector 1 and 2. Ooh, turn 1 and turn 2 took way too much curb at turn 2 there. But don't think we'd have lost too much time as we now head into a brilliant high speed, windy second sector. Could have used maybe a bit more of the track there. That was nice. That was a nice left-hander. Nice and tight. Good exit too. Bit wide there. Getting onto the curb. And now the right-hander, which is almost flat, but had a touch of understeer heading through that right-hander. And then a very patient uphill left, which hurts the rears before another very patient right. I do think there's more time in this lap. Parts of it have been good. Others not so much. Final 2 corners, usually almost flat. We're going to boost mid-corner to drain whatever is left of the battery, and we head to the line, and we are in P7. I think that's on the cusp, you know. I think it's close. Closer than I'd probably like it to be. It wasn't the ideal lap. And you're not going to get too many laps out of these tyres. Ollie Behrman has put a stonking lap. That is more like it from our teammate. He's 3rd quickest at the moment with a 14.8. We're 8 tenths back. He has 3 tenths on us in Sector 1, 3 tenths on us in Sector 2, and 3 tenths on us in Sector 3. We're in danger here. We're going to be in danger. Well, I say that. 14th. We are in danger. We're only 2 tenths clear of the drop. We're going to have to go out again. Our teammate, I think, can sit comfortably in the garage because he is in 5th which is brilliant from Ollie Behrman. But we are going to have to go out again. We know the time is there, but we need to make sure we deliver it. Well, we're in P17, so we've made it through anyway, so we wouldn't have needed this second lap. But we are going to still ensure that we've gained by just under half a second, so we are through. It's a shame we needed the second lap, really. But we have gotten through to Q2 in P10, which is far more representative of where the car should be. Still, though, half a second off of Ollie Behrman, who could be in contention to qualify quite high up here. We hopefully will have a shout of Q3, but that was a better lap, much more like it, and we were in by half a second in the end, which is definitely more like it. I mean, Franco Colapinto, very lucky in the McLaren. He snuck through by less than a tenth of a second, but out then is Lance Stroll in the Aston Martin, Gasly in the Alpine, the two Audis, the two Cadillacs, and Nico Hülkenberg. All out in Q1. We now head to Q2, and so far the pace of both cars, especially Ollie Behrman, is looking really good. Well, we're coming through the third sector. The lap on the scrub set was, of course, not good enough for Q3. We're trying to get everything out of these tyres as we possibly can. I think we were half a second off of Ollie Behrman. So that's probably what we're going to need to get into Q3, and sadly, we're not going to quite make it. We gained just less than 4/10 in the end. Maybe ran out of battery a little bit. And sadly, we will not be making it into Q3, which is where I think the car should be. Ollie didn't make it either. He missed out by less than a tenth. But we were a good 4/10 short. So even then, we were not going to make Q3, which is a real shame, because that's exactly where I think the car probably is. So a bit like Monaco, we're going to have to do it on track to get into the points. Behrman hopefully can do the same. But we are out alongside our teammate Dirksen, Lawson Perez, his teammate Lindblad, and Esteban Ocon in the Haas. Alonso squeaks through once again, doing bits in qualifying for the Aston Martin. Marty as well gets his Williams in to Q3, which is pretty cool. So sadly, no Q3 appearance once again. So we're going to have to try and climb into the points in the race.
Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to your Grand Prix action this weekend, taking place at a brand new venue. Well, it's not a brand new venue. It's a familiar track that we all know and love. The Grand Prix, though, has changed its name. From now on, welcome to the Barcelona-Catalunya Grand Prix. Here's our track then, familiar to all drivers on the grid, and a long run from pole down into turn one is going to test their ability to brake as late as they possibly can. Through turn 3, the tyres will take a huge amount of punishment. Turn 9-2 at the top of the hill, and look out for some spectacular sights of the cars at full throttle through turn 14. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen starts on pole, and starting next to them is George Russell. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Albon, Leclerc, Franco Colapinto, and Sainz, Antonelli, Hadjar, Alonso, and Pepe Marti, Behrman, Dirksen, Jack Crawford, and Lawson, Perez, Lindblad, Esteban Ocon, and Lance Stroll, Gasly, Martins, Stanek, Hülkenberg, Bortoleto, and Valtteri Bottas begins the race from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Well, we're on the grid then, and we are behind our teammate directly on the grid. The two championship protagonists are on the front row alongside one another. The rest of the race is just took up by, well, the front of the grid at least is took up by the usual suspects, the Ferraris, the Mercs, the McLarens, etc, etc. But anyway, fuel-wise, again, as always, no idea. Taking a wild stab. It will be interesting to see what the difference in strategies are. We're going to, I think, stick with the one-stop. You know, I think we've got the pace to do it. I am a little bit concerned about tyre wear. But I think we can make it work. anyone who starts on the softs are doing a two-stop, and we have got quite a few of them. So Alonso, Marty doing a two-stop, Dirksen a two-stop, Lawson a two-stop. I think we have the pace to, I think, get by all these guys who are on two-stops. I think these guys had Giantinelli, I think, upwards on the mediums. I think they're all starting. They will be out of sight. But I do think there's definitely a chance for us to get by a lot of these two-stoppers if they do get stuck in traffic and we manage our tyres. So, yeah, I think we have a chance of climbing into the points today in a similar way that we did in Monaco. The two-stop versus the one-stop, etc., etc. And Behrman's on the same strategy as well. So, if he stays out of trouble, I'm hoping one of us, if not both of us, can get some points. Well, it'll be interesting to see how our teammate gets on here and how he starts the race. But I'm confident that the strategy will do us good. We just need to stick with these soft tyre runners in the early stages. And it depends how long the soft tyre lasts as well, as we are off and underway. And we're going to get by Marty already, who I think's already having to harvest his battery. Not Marty, Dirksen, sorry. Marty is ahead of us in the other Williams. We have got a car on our outside there, and that was Dirksen. We did drift and slide towards him there. That wasn't me deliberately squeezing him out. That was a little bit of understeer in turn 3, as there is an absolute traffic jam here going into sector 2. Alonso and Hadjar side by side. Our teammates up to P10, which is really good. Alonso still battling with the Mercedes, and that's the worry, that we're going to get held up by Alonso like we did around Monaco. But we will see how things play out up ahead. We know we're a better car than the Williams, and I'd like to think we can get by Marty. I think the start finish straight is... Oh, Behrman sideways through there. That's not going to be good. That's going to just bring Marty into play. It is a Haas William, a Porsche Williams quartet at the moment. We are understeering quite a lot. I don't know if it's the fuel loads, but we have no choice but to boost. Behrman sadly having to harvest. This is not good for our teammate, as he's going to be under pressure now, and the Williams clears him into turn 1. And Marty is through. Behrman had no battery left, and he has lost a position to the Williams, which is a real shame. But we desperately need to settle into this race, because yeah, we are understeering everywhere at the minute. Yellow flag already, and well, it's Alonso. Wow, that's an early one. I don't recall seeing many retirements as early as that. Lap 2. The Aston Martin that was in front of us is already out. Promotes us up a place. Behrman up into the points already. I don't agree with him trying to get by Marty at this part of the track. Save your boost till the straight, mate. That's definitely where you want to make the move.
The energy stores depleting, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
Now then, I would love to see Behrman make the pass back here. And Marty, he might be getting done by 2 Porsches here, because we're going to follow Behrman through, and that is beautiful. Beautiful work by the 2 Porsche boys there. Marty used up his battery on the previous lap, and he got caught out here, and in fact he might lose out to his own teammate here. The Williams guys are now holding each other up, which is, well, not helping their strategy at all. Both on soft. They want to be making progress. They don't want to be slowing each other up, and they're still going side by side. I think Marty might just have the move, but that was brilliant from Behrman, getting back through, and we followed him, both of us now into the points. Well, you join me on lap 7, and things are going pretty well for the Porsche boys. We're just driving our own race. We are pretty much matching each other for pace, so we're just running as a pair, really. We're not disrupting Behrman's race too much. He's not disrupting ours. It's allowing us to do exactly what we want and that is look after the tyres, manage our battery. Tyre temps are good, tyre wear feels good. We are literally, if you look at the map on the left, running our own race completely. The top 8 are sort of doing their own thing. A lot of them are on the same strategy as we are, so I doubt we're going to really be fighting with them today. But we're just doing our own thing. And all the guys behind us are both on softs, so they're needing to pit twice. So they're already at a disadvantage. And they're also fighting each other consistently, which is losing them time. So we're not even having to do much to maintain and build a gap from the guys behind, because they're just slowing each other up, and there's a huge queue behind them too. So me and Behrman just enjoying a nice stroll around Catalonia, driving as a pair, sitting pretty in P9 and P10, and yeah, so far so good. Oh, we have a yellow flag up ahead. This could be good news for us here. There's a Mercedes going slow, and that's going to give us another free position.
Here's some information on Russell.
George Russell is out with an engine failure. That is devastating for his World Championship fight with Max Verstappen. Russell out.
Okay, clear.
And once again, no safety car, so there's 2 retirements in 9 laps, but no safety car. And that promotes Behrman up to P8, and we are up to P9. So, yeah, devastating for George, but great news for us. We're promoted up another place. Well, there you go. The first of the 2 stoppers is in. Carlos Sainz is in the pits. Don't know how many of the other top 6 as it now is are doing a 2-stop. I can't remember how many of them were starting on the soft tyres, but that's going to put Carlos Sainz into a whole load of traffic that he's going to have to negotiate. He's going to have to get past us and then pit again. And there's quite a few guys who were miles behind us who were in the pits as well, and they're now going to have to pit for a second time as well. So they're pretty much out of our race. We just need to keep an eye on the likes of Sainz, as they will of course come back through on much fresher tyres. But yeah, this is going beautifully for us at the moment. Behrman up to P7 on track, we're up to P8. And because our pace with one another is just so consistent, we're not remotely getting in each other's way. We are just driving as a perfect team right now. And yeah, the other Ferrari is in. I think they might be the only ones of the top 6 doing a 2-stop. I think Verstappen, Colapinto, the 2 Red Bulls are all doing 1-stoppers.
Leclerc is stopping now.
But Leclerc is in, and that of course will give him the same issue that Carlos Sainz will have, and that is that they need to get by the traffic. So Leclerc is out. He's not too far back down the road actually. Maybe he can make that 2-stopper work. He's only 12 seconds back, and he's only really got Bortoletto to worry about, so he's in a better position than his teammate. So maybe the Ferraris will be a threat to us in this race. Behrman starting to slide a little bit on his mediums. I'm really happy with how we've looked after ours.
The car behind has newer tyres. Car behind
Well, I say that.
newer tyres. You know what to do.
I just noticed how worn the front left is. The rest of the car's fine. Temps are fine. Tyre wear's fine. It is just the front left that obviously takes unbelievable punishment round here. Hence why we are in the red zone, 72%, but it's not going to be a problem because we are going to pit at the end of this lap. Hopefully Behrman's tyres aren't too bad. It's probably good that he's going to pit after us because he currently has track position. It just gives him that little bit more room, I think, to stay ahead of the Ferraris, so I don't think we'll catch him. But Leclerc was edging a little bit closer to us. Got within 5 seconds. But we're in now, and you can see Verstappen up ahead on the same strategy as we are. He's on the hard tyres. The big thing for us, I think, here is traffic. Can we avoid traffic?
Right, let's go.
Good pit stop.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time.
And we're going to avoid the traffic. Perfect.
See these tyres through to the end now.
Perfect. We have come out ahead of a huge queue of cars. And I really hope Behrman does as well. And we can now crack on and get on with our race. Taking these hards to the end. Whereas I think that the guys behind us are all going to have to pit again. So getting ahead of them, getting ahead of the traffic was crucial. And now I think it's probably our race versus the Ferraris actually. They're on a 2-stop, we're on a 1-stop. They're running sort of as a 2 and we were running as a 2. Sainz has gone soft for his second compound. Leclerc went medium. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. I do think there's a high chance we'll undercut Ollie here. I just really hope he comes out either in front of us or can somehow tuck in behind us and be ahead of Dirksen. Because I wouldn't say we've pushed like crazy on this lap. We're still managing our battery. We don't have to drain it. We've got track position and we've got the tyres. We're going to drain it here a little bit.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead.
But, oh god, we really have undercut him, haven't we? But if he can come out ahead of Dirksen, that's perfect. Oh, Lawson, I think, just nicked him into turn 1. So Behrman will have a tiny bit of traffic to get by, but he's going to be ahead of him on strat anyway, because Lawson is going to obviously need to pit again. And even if Lawson overtakes us, there's no point us fighting him, because
no issues with tyre wear for now.
He's got to pit again. So Behrman's 2.6 seconds behind us, and that's fine. Well, the Ferraris are in for their second stop, and this is going to be crucial now as to what the gap is, the traffic, etc. We have cleared Sainz quite considerably, but he's not that far behind our teammate. Behrman is 4 seconds back now. He has suffered by being in the sort of battle that Lawson and Dirksen have had. Lawson's softs have clearly dropped off a cliff because Dirksen's overtaken him, and now so has our teammate, although Lawson is back ahead of Behrman. And that is not going to help our teammates race. This is the traffic he needs to avoid being stuck in, because Carlos Sainz now will be directly behind him on fresher tyres.
Don't worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
I'm not worried that our teammate won't be in the top 10. I still think he will be in the top 10. But he's more likely now, I think, to lose out in the fight with the Ferrari, because you can see on the minimap Sainz is right behind him. So Behrman, by getting stuck in that, not even a big piece of traffic, a tiny bit of traffic, has hindered him enormously. Whereas we cleared it and we've been able to run comfortably in free air. But Dirksen is in the pits now, as is Lawson, and there you go, there it is. 5 seconds is the gap to Behrman. Sainz, I think, is going to get him instantly, and there you go. The Ferrari on a 2-stop has gotten our teammate on a 1-stop. Well, now we have Leclerc in the pits. He's obviously on different compounds to his teammate. He's on the hards now. And I think this could be a little bit close between us and the Ferrari. I think he's going to slot in between us and Carlos Sainz. In fact, there he is. Charles Leclerc in the lead. Ferrari is out. He is behind us, but he's on fresh hards. Ours are already 30% on the front left. And, well, this is a battle for position now. So we're going to have to try and fight this best we can, but it's not going to be easy. So we're currently running 7 and 9. Ferraris, oh sorry, 6 and 9. Ferraris are 7 and 8, but yeah, I think they'll probably be in front of us by the end. Well, I think our time in P6 is going to come to an abrupt end here. Leclerc pretty much forced us through the final corner. We are going to try and defend position. Of course, we have a Ferrari engine in the back of this Porsche car as well. But we are going to battle Charles Leclerc with everything we've got here. It's probably in vain, but we're going to try and keep him behind us as long as possible. Because if there is a safety car or a red flag, we will have track position. And I know that is the only part of the track where the Ferrari is probably going to overtake us. So we stay ahead for now, but his teammate will be on the scene shortly.
1 second.
Oh, Leclerc having a look there, but I don't mind him having a look round the outside of that corner. Especially if he's wasting boost. Trying to get past us through there, but here we go again then. Straight mode engage. Boost instantly. Defend to the inside. Charles Leclerc around the outside of turn 1 once again. But once more we rinse and repeat the move. And if we can do that 8 more times, we'll have a chance. We're going to have 2 Ferraris on our back soon. I'm not too sure our teammate's going to catch up to this. Because we will be slowing ourselves down a little bit by battling here. I'd love Behrman to actually catch up and get involved, but can't see it. Oof, we didn't half give Leclerc the squeeze there. He tried to go around the outside. But now look at this. We are going to have to try and hold off not 1, but 2 scarlet red Ferraris. Oh, we've caught the curb. That's not helped. Sainz might even fancy his own teammate here. As we're going to try and go. We're going to have 1 Ferrari to our left. We might have 1 Ferrari to our right. We're keeping our car in the middle of the track. But look at this. Whoa, we're being pinched by both Ferraris. How have we survived that? I have no idea. Leclerc's the one who loses out. Sainz is through.
Okay, gap ahead. 12.0
I thought for all it was worth that we were going to have an incident there. We were going to make contact with one of them, if not both. Sainz obviously is on the mediums, so maybe he is quicker. But that was crazy. I mean, it's so much fun. We're going to keep trying. We're going to give it everything we've got here once again. To the outside. Sainz though looks like he's got a little bit more speed. We're going to brake later than we have done. And once again, lean on the right tyre. But my God, what is going to happen? Heading into turn 1 here. Here we go again. Take 4. We have to keep the inside.
8.3 seconds.
Sainz moving to our outside. I think Leclerc's trying to follow him through. But once again, we're aggressive but fair. And we're just keeping enough battery back to hold off the Ferraris. Sainz is adamant that he wants to go around the outside there. We're going to use all the track, every inch of it. We are probably putting ourselves at risk of the switch back there, but using all of the exit there to keep the Ferrari at bay. I do think as long as we've got the battery here, I think we've got a great chance. Just no mistakes. Unless they go incredibly aggressive to the inside. It's the same every single lap. And Leclerc, I think, has got his teammate this time. So the Ferraris too busy swapping positions to see which one of them can actually take us here, because at the minute we're holding them both off with 5 laps to go. Is the AI going to learn and try and go down our inside? The answer is no, but we might be getting pinched again here. Oh, I thought Sainz was going to fancy his chances. That Leclerc's kept his nose in though, but once again we have the inside for the right-hander, and that keeps us ahead.
Grip is probably dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive.
I thought Sainz was going to go down our inside. That is the one place where we have to be careful. But the laps are ticking down. 4 to go now, and we're still in 6th place. Oh, we've had a bad run through there. I think Leclerc's hit us in the worst place, though. I think he had to lift through there, and that's probably going to hold him back. We're still going to take the inside line just because we know the Ferrari will try and stick his nose down the inside, or down the outside of that corner. Normally the AI learn and change their approach after a few laps, but I think we've got him covered.
Gap to the car in front, 16.8 seconds.
Although Sainz looks close, doesn't he? But I think he's only got to sit behind his teammate. There's not room for the 3 of us. And there we go again. I think we can do this. I really do think, without any mistakes, we can hang on to this P6. Well, here we go, lap 31. We're here again, ladies and gentlemen. And I think we just have to make sure we don't make a mistake. Don't give them any reason to nick down the inside or leave the door open. In fact, the Ferraris are now fighting each other. Sainz is now having a look at Leclerc, and he's got him. So they keep swapping places. Almost like, well, I can't get him. Do you want to go? I'll have a go then. Sainz back through. Which, to be fair, has gave us a tiny, tiny brief bit of breathing space. Sainz having a go this time. Once again, we shut the door. I think his mediums must be slightly more worse for wear than Leclerc's hards, but they'll still both be in far better nick than what our tyres are right now. But we've got one more, you would think, one more defensive duty here, and that's on the straight. Our teammate's still running his own race in P9, which is great. It's going to be good points for Ollie, but I did not think we would be able to hold off the Ferraris on their 2-stop strategy, but we got track position, and then we've just done everything in our power to hold on to it. This is what we've done lap after lap after lap. We accept that they'll brake a bit later than us into that left, but we have the inside line. They cannot switch us back or hang it around the outside. I think we've got just about enough battery here for one more big defence. Down the straight we go. As soon as we enable straight line mode, the boost is activated.
Let's go, final lap.
Keep to the right hand side. I don't think Leclerc's going to have a chance. Sainz with the same line. As we go down the inside, shut the door once more on the Ferrari. And that might be the job done. We know the AI will learn, and they'll probably try and deploy a bit of extra boost on this last lap if they've got it to hand. There'll be no moves through here as Max Verstappen wins the race, and well, that'll be huge in his fight with George Russell. It really will be. But there is one more place now where we can now probably use a bit of battery that where we haven't before to make sure, and that's down this straight, and we're going to boost, and that is going to give us just enough breathing room, I think, now to stay ahead. What a defensive drive this has been. Not been the most action-packed race. It's been a story of one team doing a 1-stop, the other doing a 2-stop, and us defending with everything we have against not one but 2 scarlet red Ferraris. But we come round the final corner, boost to the line. It's going to be a fabulous P6 and a P9 for our teammate, and we have held off the Ferraris. Fantastic.
For many of our drivers, but the wait is always worth it. Bring them out to the awaiting crowd. It's time for our podium celebrations. But there can only be one on the top step. Your number one, Max Verstappen.
Well, that is it for the Spanish Grand Prix. Not the most action-packed, but I would call it a very productive one. Max Verstappen wins from pole by 20 seconds. Wow. That's what you call a dominant victory, but a good result for the Red Bull team, picking up a 2-3. It was obvious, wasn't it, that the one-stop was going to be the way to go around here, and all the one-stoppers pretty much benefited, didn't they? Apart from, well, I wouldn't even say our teammate, to be fair, because the Ferraris, you know, are still quicker than us, on the development charts at least, but Colapinto up to 4th, Hadjo up to 5th, we climbed up to 6th from 13th, which is another really strong drive from outside the points, and we did hold off not one but two Ferraris for all that time to hold on to P6. 8 more points for Jack Crawford in what has been a fantastic season so far. Sainz and Leclerc P7 and 8. Sadly, our teammate could not quite stick with them, and I don't think he would have done even had he had track position. I think they would have got him in the end. We had to be very clever and aggressive with how we defended and with our battery. Lawson picked up the final point then with the 2 stoppers. I think everyone else behind him had 2 stops apart from Bortoletto, which just shows you how bad the pace is in that Audi car, Martins as well. And then 2 pretty big retirements. Both were in front of us in the race, Alonso and Russell, which is a huge blow for his championship. And this is what has happened. It's put Max Verstappen back in front with 120 points. George Russell 18 points back, with Isaac Hadjar a further 17 points back. I still think it's a fight between the two of them here, with Antonelli 4th, Albon 5th, Colapinto 6th, Leclerc 7th. We now are 8th, if we weren't 8th before, ahead of Carlos Sainz with 28 points, which, yeah, might be almost as many as what we achieved as a team last season. It's been really good so far. Sainz is behind us. Alonso has 8. Behrman also now on 8 points for the team as well. Gasly 5. Liam Lawson 1. And Arvid Lindblad with 1. And not much change in the constructors. McLaren are back ahead of Mercedes, though, in what's going to be a very good fight for the constructors as well. Red Bull, I think, will sit pretty in 3rd. I can't see that changing too much, and I think Ferrari are already out of the battle with the top 3 cars, if I'm absolutely honest. Can we compete with them for 4th? That would be awesome, wouldn't it? But 36 points for us. We're clear of the rest. Aston Martin, Alpine and Racing Bulls, you'd still think, will fight it out for 6th place, and there are still 4 teams which are pointless. But that has been it for an intriguing Spanish Grand Prix. We'll be back next time for the Austrian Grand Prix, which last season was absolute chaos. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave me a comment with your thoughts, and I'll see you all for the next one.